Hi everyone, welcome to my review of the Ice Lab Spectrumica, which is a pretty interesting IM. It is a sort of a co-flagship IM that has, I think since the time of its launch, it has gathered a bit of attention in the audiophile community for a lot of its aesthetics, its design, its build quality, and so forth. And these guys from Ice Labs, they also make pretty fantastic cables. And from what I know, they make the Flash Acoustics cables, the same guys. And I've tried the Flash Acoustics Thanos, and it's an extraordinary cable. And this supply cable is just to die for. Anyway, so in terms of technical specifications, this has an 8-driver quad grid. So this is one ceramic dynamic driver, one coil-based bone conduction driver, 4 Sonyon BAs, and 2 Sonyon ESTs. So 8 in total, and 4 types of drivers. The sensitivity here is 93.5 decibels, and impedance is very low at 7 ohms. And yeah, so this is a very interesting IM, and I do want to talk about a bit more about its design before I get into talking about sound. So this has clearly a very luxurious design, as might be evident. Like if you look at the cable first and foremost, and then if you look at these metal parts and the finishing here, and then if you look at the IMs themselves, they're very, very high quality and very well finished, and they exude class and exude sophistication and luxury. So these are aerospace grade aluminum shells and crafted with 5-axis CNC precision. This construction not only ensures durability, but also contributes to its lightweight and comfortable fit. A lot of people have been praising its ergonomic design and that it ensures a very secure fit. But of course, ergonomics is very subjective, and what might be ergonomic for me might not be for you, because these are somewhat bulbous. And I find them very ergonomic, but then of course your mileage may vary, so keep that in mind. Whenever you have these sorts of bulbous shapes, it's very difficult to foretell whether this will be a good fit for you. Now, this cable is called the mica cable, which has OCC copper and gold-plated conductors in a LITS Type 4S configuration. And they have a shielding technology. They call it the 3D Halo shielding technology, which they say enhances sound stage and clarity. But more importantly, I think this has a very supple and ergonomic design, which adds to its overall premium feel, fit, and finish. Okay, to now talk about sound, guys. Bass response, is a standout of this IM. It does deliver very deep, very well-structured bass. Thanks to its ceramic dynamic driver and its coil-based bone conduction driver, the sub-bass is very present. It's controlled. It adds a lot of weight without overpowering the mids or treble. The mid bass offers punch and texture, enhancing the overall musicality. The sub to mid bass balance is one of the best I've come across for a $2,000 product. And it far exceeds what I think, for Audio Xenon 6 and other IMs of yesteryears tried to achieve, because this mid bass comes down at the right point and therefore does not sacrifice mid-range clarity. The mid-range is balanced, it's coherent, it's a very natural and sweet vocals and instruments. And there's ever so slight coloration in the lower mids, but which I think adds to the sense of musicality. So the term musicality keeps coming up when I talk about this IM, because it is very musical and smooth, and the timbre is pleasing and engaging, and and it's just phenomenal for, I think, all genre listening, like whether you listen to jazz or classical or rock or vocals. Now, in terms of the highs, the treble extension, the highs are rendered with clarity and finesse. There's a very detailed and airy treble, and there's no harshness. The ESG drivers, I think, contribute significantly to the extension and sparkle. And I would say it's a very lively listening experience. And, for some people, around lower treble can be somewhat present, but that wasn't the case for me. I think that's worth, pointing out. Now, one of his party tricks, because of how it's done its treble, and it also has this P-Sync phase synchronized cavity design inside, which I forgot to mention, which apparently ensures accurate alignment between air and bone conduction. You get a very three-dimensional auditory experience with its soundstage. It's a very holographic sense of stage. The imaging is particularly precise, and you're really able to pinpoint all the images on the sound field. So at $2,000, I haven't found many IMs that compete with this for resolution or for soundstage. The resolution is just amazing. A being this with my very venerable, soft tiers flagships or Irma Audio flagships in particular, the Jewel and the Fei Wan. I felt this was holding its own in terms of resolution. This is like 99% of the resolution of a Fei Wan or a Jewel, I think, or maybe 95%, But it does compare very favorably to 6,000 IMs, which is why I give it very high ratings. Overall, I would say this is a very well-designed and thought-out IM. So Icelab deserves strong kudos for coming up with this IM. This cutting-edge technology, musicality, innovative driver configuration, premium build quality, world-class cable. It really does make this, a no-brainer if $2,000 is your sort of the price when you're looking at. And while it's not the absolute pinnacle in terms of technical performance, I do think that if you look at the value proposition that this offers, this is unbeatable at this price point, guys. So that's it for me, guys. Unbeatable value at $2,000. A big shout out to Ice Labs for this outstanding IM. If you like this video, give this a like. If you like my work, follow my channel and stay tuned for my next one. Bye-bye.